Welcome to the physics show. Why do we call it as a physics show? It is because it is in this show that we try to make the subject of physics interesting and exciting for the child. Let us take an example of a topic like projectile. Any student and he is repelled by the idea of studying this topic. In our mode of teaching, we make him understand and feel excited about the topic. If I have to teach projectile in a VSAT based classroom, we will start with an application. For example, a cricketer, our favorite cricketers, hitting a sixer. It is nothing but a projectile starting from the batsman and then ending probably in the stands. So now we want to describe and demonstrate how exactly it is related to our topic. We know that a projectile range means the distance covered depends on the angle of the throw and also on the initial velocity of its start. Once we know these two, we can play around and find out how exactly it is dependent on. For example, let's see what happens when we throw a projectile at a small angle. There you are seeing it being thrown. This is where it lands. Now, let me change the angle and throw it again. That's where it lands. Have you seen the change? Now that's how the angle makes the range different. Now let's look at initial velocity. Suppose I have thrown a projectile at a small velocity. This is how it lands. Next, I throw it with a larger velocity. Well, and there how it lands. So what we are seeing is that when we change the angle or when we change the initial velocity of the projection, the range becomes different. Let's look at how the projectile has traveled in between. For example, when the projectile is traveling in air, the horizontal velocity remains a constant, whereas the vertical velocity goes on changing because of acceleration due to gravity. Let's see it on a grid. Are you seeing that the horizontal distance covered in small intervals are equal, whereas look at the vertical motion, it is varying with time. This explanation helps the child visualize the concept of projectile motion better than in a normal classroom, because it will help him retain for a longer time. Once he knows the formula of range, he would be able to even better understand the topic. This is how we teach in a typical VSAT based classroom. For a child, it becomes a very new experience and he will never forget the small bits of information that is there in the topic. I hope you have understood how exactly we conduct our classrooms and make it exciting for the child. Thank you.